Israeli forces were seen Sunday moving inside a demilitarized buffer zone in the Israel-held Golan Heights on its border with Syria. Israel has been moving troops into the zone since the toppling of Bashar Assad's regime in Syria in what it calls a temporary security measure. Israel still controls the Golan Heights that it captured from Syria during the 1967 Mideast War. The Disengagement Agreement ending the 1973 war between Israel and Syria established a demilitarized buffer zone between the two countries, monitored by a UN peacekeeping force known as UNDOF. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Thursday that Israeli troops would remain in the zone until another force across the border in Syria could guarantee security. Israeli troops moved into the zone set as a demilitarized area inside Syrian territory under truce deals that ended the 1973 Mideast War after the regime of Bashar Assad fell last weekend.
In an interview with Russian outlet Gazeta, Dmitry Kuznetsov, a member of Russia's State Duma and the International Affairs Committee, has proposed that Bashar al-Assad, the ousted Syrian president who fled to Russia following rebel capture of Syria's capital Damascus, could be relocated to occupied Mariupol. According to UAWire media outlet, Kuznetsov urged that the former Syrian leader, along with his family, should settle in Mariupol, where they could take it under their wing. For his contribution to the restoration of Donbass, Kuznetsov suggested granting Assad Russian citizenship. I think that Bashar al-Assad, or rather his family, could sponsor one of the war-torn areas of Donbass and settle in the new housing developments of Mariupol. He could also support Emir Kusturica in filming a Dostoevsky-inspired movie in Donbass. I advocate for him to prove his dedication to the Russian people, and later, considering his contribution to Donbass's recovery, citizenship could be discussed, the Russian lawmaker added. Previously, on December the 10th, the tabloid Bild had reported that Assad might reside in luxury apartments at Moscow City. On December the 14th, journalists from the Romanian television channel Digi24 speculated that the Syrian dictator and his family could be settled in the posh Barbica suburb near Moscow. According to the Romanian journalists, in return for the sanctuary offered by Vladimir Putin, Bashar al-Assad might be expected to become a pawn of the Kremlin. Assad was granted asylum in the Russian capital on humanitarian grounds that he had denied his own subjects for so long. Mark Galliotti wrote in The Spectator, "What kind of life does Putin offer? The answer is quite opulent, even if in practice it means being part of one of the rarest zoos of all, Putin's collection of ex-dictators. West of Moscow, just behind the city's MK-AD highway, lies the village of Bavica. From the main road, it's indistinguishable in any way, but as soon as you turn into the side streets, you notice the opulent mansions behind high walls and ornate metal gates. In Soviet times, this was one of the select housing estates assigned to party figures and select members of the loyal cultural elite. Now it has become home to the more tasteless nouveau riche and the selection of deposed dictators and their families, writes Mark Galeotti.